Here we go. Back in the room.
Oh,
Actually,
we are back
in the room. We are back in. We've had a few tech problems, but it seems we are definitely back in the room.
Yeah,
back on the thrones.
Right, and we did skip a week the other week.
Yes.
That was because my life got so full I couldn't get a podcast out. So that's on me. But anyway,
it happens. It happens
today.
So what are we doing today, Martin?
Well, let's look. Let's look. We're going to be looking at what the future. What the future of diagnosis and therapy might look like.
What's it going to look like? Yes.
So let's go to a place where the distractions are landmarks and the detours are the main roads. Welcome to ADHDville.
Meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here. Boys to entertain, 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 boys to entertain you. ADHD kind of thing. So what am I going to say? Oh yeah, hello. My name is Nina Simone. And when I'm not playing my piano and looking eternally different in contrast to my audience's enthusiasm, I like to talk about ADHD on podcasts like this one.
And
alternatively, I'm Paul Thompson, and I was diagnosed with the ADHD crawling towards a couple of years ago.
And I'm Elvis Presley, and I was diagnosed with the combined ADHD. About 2013, and contrary to popular belief, I am not dead. I'm alive and doing a podcast.
Elvis has not left the room.
No, I am in the room. Elvis is
the room.
In the room.
Okay.
In the room.
So what
yes,
we got
it's
on
me,
the,
isn't it? It's me, isn't it?
Yes.
God damn it. Oh, see, you see what? It's just like if you're like a week out. If you're a week out, it throws you.
Yeah.
So we start off as we always do in the King's Agitated Head pub in ADHDville, where we, the ex-mayors of ADHDville, sit at the back table and enjoy a pint.
Yes.
And this week, let me just look at my agenda. So we're talking about the future of diagnosis and therapy, what that might look like. And then we have a quiz. We have a quiz again. Do. And you're going to attempt to make me look small and pathetic and stupid.
In front of millions of people.
Yeah. I hope so.
But you should do quite well. You should do a lot better than I do. My last attempt was pathetic.
All right. I owe you a quiz back, so maybe next week we will have a quiz. Yes. So, where are we going to have this chat about the future?
Let's go to the farm, Martin. Let's go to the farm.
All right. Well, let's jump in our tractor, which seems rather appropriate, and head over to the farm. Yeah. That's it. Get in.
Come on.
Now we're off.
It never fails.
Whoa!
Never fails, that tractor.
Raise the plough.
All the years we've been doing the podcast, the tractor's never failed. Always goes first time.
It's that reliable diesel. That's what it is.
Yeah, those are the days. So the idea was, because it got me thinking, it's like, the diagnosis seems like really like prehistoric compared with, kind of advances in neuroscience, right? And I heard one day, a few weeks ago, actually the diagnosis and the therapies for neuroscience is about 20 years behind the actual research. Okay.
What? Oh, I see.
I'll give you an example. For like Alzheimer's, okay? There were like they found in 1995, which is what 35. Well, how long is that? 25 plus 10, 35 years. No, 30 years ago.
Right.
30 years ago, they'd already discovered a really good, fantastic Alzheimer's biomarker diagnosis, basically more accurate than brain scans and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really accurate. It's like available 30 years ago, and it's still not widely used even in the 1920s. In the
Oh,
1920s, in the
in the
2020s,
1920s,
it's still not
never
freely
used.
available. So it's like
All
way
right.
behind. But you think like ADHD, it's like filling out questionnaires, like
Right.
massively prone to misdiagnosis, badly interpreted, and all that kind of
Right.
thing.
Okay.
So I was thinking,
Yeah.
what's out there already? What's going on? What's going on,
What
Martin?
What is going on, Paul? I don't
What
know
is
what's
going
going on.
on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? And apparently, apart from I was just saying, the current diagnosis methods are really bad, but they're even worse for marginalized groups and female
Yes.
adults. So,
Yes.
it's a shit show. Let's call it what it is.
It is
And
a
it's just a
show
nightmare. And the
of turds.
technology's out there, right? It's just people aren't just like on it. Okay.
They're not on it
So it
like a
got me
bonnet.
thinking, it's like, so what's actually already available both on the therapeutic side and on
Okay.
also the diagnosis, right?
All right.
So like, okay, so you've got your wearable devices, okay, already.
Oh
There's
yeah,
stuff
like your
out there that's really good.
smartwatch. You mean like an
Smartwatches.
Apple? Yeah.
Yeah. The stuff out there can already diagnose if you're prone to having epileptic attacks. There
Right.
are devices out there. So, mate, you're actually in danger of having an epileptic attack. It's just like stuff out there,
All right.
There's also stuff that can be. There's also things out there could also already be useful for if you've got dyspraxia. So if you're like prone to falling over and kind of things that might happen like that, you actually got wearable devices that exist already with that kind of technology. It's like, okay, if something bad happens, sleeping disorders, already stuff
Yes.
out there already existing for sleeping disorders. Okay. Metabolic health, okay, so like even like insulin resistance, inflammation, disrupted sleep, glucose. If you're lacking glucose, you can get help for that, for
All
helping,
right.
monitoring your glucose, basically temperature monitoring. There's loads of stuff out there already. Skin and
Okay.
hydration help. There's already stuff out there.
All right.
Menstrual and reproductive health. There's already wearable devices for that kind of thing.
Okay.
But even like you can get really specific. Apple's AirPod Pros got all kinds of really cool stuff that are already
Right.
kind of okay-ish on the therapeutic side for ADHD, right? Noise cancellation, and you can selectively filter out certain sounds, so you can
Okay.
home in on voices. Okay,
All right.
all right.
Okay.
There's other stuff. There's other tech with the Apple thing. Okay, but there's
But
also diagnoses out there, right? There's stuff
right.
already out
Okay.
there for actual diagnosis. Okay,
All right.
like neuroimaging. That's the kind of the oldest technology out there. You can have a brain scan and it can
Oh.
detect ADHD and autism.
Okay. It can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can actually do it. It's currently it's available. It's just very kind of it's just too expensive. It's just not being used.
So I could
Okay.
stick my head in one of those donut machines,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and they could
yeah,
go. Oh look, you see this big blank space right here
yeah.
at the front. That's where
Exactly,
you should have brain cells. But Mr. West, I'm afraid you seem to be missing quite a lot
exactly,
here.
exactly.
All right.
I once went to see a neurologist, and he said, "You don't happen," because I was suffering from migraines, and he said, You don't happen to have like a CD with like or a DVD with like your brain scans? Well, actually, funny you say that. I do.
Well,
Right?
you just
I
carry it
handed it.
around on you.
I did. Well, I went
Hang
to
on a
see the
second,
neurologist. I
mate.
thought he might.
I think I've got it in my back
Yeah,
pocket. Oh, there we go.
yeah. Well, I did
My,
have it in my back pocket. I handed it over to him, and he was looking at it, and he said, "Mr. Thompson, just this, let's have a little conversation, and it will.
oh
This
dear.
conversation won't go outside these four walls,
Oh
right?
no.
Have you ever
That doesn't
been
sound good.
into like serious, like drugs?"
Oh, right. Are you a drug
Okay.
addict, Mr. Thompson?
And he said, "Have you? What about this drug?" And I said, "Nope." What about that drug? Nope. What about this drug? Well, actually, I did go through a couple of years. When I was, I kind of dabbled in that
When I
that
was
area of
experimenting with
of
being a
substance
wild
abuse.
rebel,
Bit of a wild time.
right? Be a
And
crackhead.
he said, "Well, come over to my side of the desk, and I'll show you something."
All right.
Right? And he
Oh
showed me
dear.
this part of my brain scan. You see these spaces here, right, between this bit and that bit. He said it
They
in a
should be
slightly more
filled
subtle.
with brain cells.
There shouldn't be a gap. There shouldn't be a gap. So those
Oh
2 years
dear.
of fun that you had, there was some consequences.
Mind the gap.
Mind the
Blimey.
gap. So yeah, but apparently you can see a lot of neuro. You could detect a lot of neurological inefficiencies in brains.
All right.
Not inefficiencies, imperfections.
Right.
But it's just too unwieldy and too expensive to
Okay.
roll out. But there's stuff out there. Some people say, talking about wearable devices, have you ever heard of hats for ADHD
I've
people?
never heard of hats. Never heard of hats. Oh wait, I have. No, I have heard of hats.
Hats
heard
for
of
ADHD people
Oh,
that
there
weigh
are
a lot.
that weigh a lot.
They're actually out there. There are hats for ADHD people that weigh a lot and have certain therapeutic benefits.
I
I
like
know
a hat.
they didn't specify the weight, like a ton,
Right.
But apparently, like ADHD people, you like having heavy blankets, or at
Yeah,
least
I was
I
gonna
do. It's
say.
quite common.
Is it like that?
Apparently, if you have a heavy hat, it can help you.
A heavy hat helps.
Exactly. So I was wondering if, like, what
Hmm.
if, we could use our imaginations a little bit. What if, there was like cufflinks? Let's go through the wearable devices and where this could go. You can imagine like a cufflink that, like, an ADHD cufflink
Well,
or a balaclava.
well, I'm just thinking, right? You can get your regular hat, and then
Yeah.
under the hat you can put like a brick. Right.
Right.
Get a brick,
You,
put it
you're,
out of your
you're,
head,
talking,
and then
you're
put a
looking at
hat
saving money. Okay.
over the yeah. You just get your hat, put the brick under, and
Brick.
then
You
you've
can
got
find a
like
brick. Anyone can find a brick, right?
anyone can find a brick,
Yeah.
or a medium sized stone,
Yeah.
or a
Or
copy of
pebble,
War
if
and
you like.
Peace by Tolstoy.
Yeah.
I think there are
Or, or
options
you,
here.
you could nick some leading off your parents' roof
Ah, man,
and mould it to your head.
if you've got leading on your parents' roof, you have rich parents. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. And you could probably afford to get a proper brain scan done.
Okay. Yeah, that's
But
a good point.
but
But what about socks? Would you be, against a sock, an ADHD sock?
what I mean, like a weighted sock. I mean, like it's
No,
hard
that
enough.
wouldn't be weighted. It would be like, because apparently, apart from the weighted hat, they're talking about they're talking about a hat that wasn't weighted, but it would be able to pinpoint where pressure points were needed at any certain point and be really accurate.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like a nice hat that kind of compresses on. And I think we've talked about that recently. But you seem to be talking about compression socks.
Yes, or hats.
Which,
Well, I worked about 20 years ago in London on a brand.
all right.
It's actually an American brand called Bristol Myers Squibb, and they were working on a sock for people that had circulation problems, and whereby an operator, like a nurse or a doctor, could remotely operate the sock to adjust the pressure points on their leg, so they could enhance the efficiency of the blood flow.
All
Now,
right.
if you apply that thinking to a hat for your communal garden ADHD, like you, Martin,
I am communal and I'm garden. Yeah.
right? And there is stuff going on with that. There's other ideas as well. There's another category here of potential
All right.
diagnosis. Okay, right?
Yes.
Is gamified neuropsychological assessments, right? Apps and computer-based tasks that could measure attention, working memory, and impulsivity, right?
All right.
And there are already some tools that are working on that. It's called Tova. It's already existing. It's used by professionals, I think, in America, called Tova, and they're kind of working on gamifying the test, the diagnosis, rather than being fill out a questionnaire, and stuff like that. They talk about gamifying it. Okay, another one. Machine learning and AI based.
Do you win prizes for this
Maybe
gamification?
No, well, it's only available to professional peeps at the moment. Costs about $1,500. This game.
Can you win a cuddly bear?
Or tool? Yeah, you could do. Maybe with pressure points.
All right.
Maybe the bear could do body doubling for you.
The cuddly bear.
You could do exactly. Then there's AI tools. AI is coming in. This is all real stuff, by the way. It's all stuff that's been actually
it's real.
being worked on. Yeah, it's real.
I thought
this is all real.
Making it up until this point.
No, it's all real. There is actually people. There are actually people working on hats. Okay, that can not only detect ADHD, but actually detect and diagnose it, but also potentially have therapeutic uses too.
Yes.
So and also under the category of diagnosis, making it gamified.
Right. I think we've touched on those.
Yes. There's also speech and language analysis as well. Actually, there's actually technology out there called natural language processing, NLP. Analyzes how people talk or write, e.g., coherence, pauses, and topic shifts to detect ADHD-related language patterns.
Oh Jesus! I'd be like a stammering fool. They'd be like, "Well, I don't understand what this guy's saying,
right?
Or what he has." Right? Because
also,
because I was one of the things that pops up on my TikTok is this woman who does people who can kind of read expressions in people's faces. Yeah, like the little tiny little micro.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And the body language, that's her thing. She works with the police and trains them, all that kind of stuff. And every time it comes up, it just feels like it only works on neurotypical people, because, for example, she'd be like, yeah, you can tell someone is lying if they pause before answering and then they start to over explain. And I'm thinking, this is just, this person could be lying, or They could just as
Yeah.
easily be ADHD
Well,
or autistic or trauma. I mean, like
loads of stuff.
all that
But if
stuff.
you've got AI involved, because you know people that ring up emergency numbers, like if we're in the States, what's the number in the
911.
States? 991.
911. Yeah.
911, or in the UK 999. People that they ring up these numbers and they've like shot or killed their
Really?
their I don't know, spouse or whatever, and they pretend to be shocked, you know. Say, yeah, oh, can you come around now? Oh, my wife, I think she's dead. You know, they pretend to be kind of like shocked when it's actually them that's done it. They're talking about using AI to actually really pinpoint people that are being fake or not. And then
Oh,
you
right.
just know there are experts that have researched these emergency calls, and you can pretty quite easily point them out because they over explain themselves.
Right. But my point is,
Yeah.
it's going to be based on normal people, which is neurotypical people, and won't account for us, and we'll just come up looking like
Yes.
guilty idiots.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. We'd be in the pokey in like 2
Yeah.
seconds. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, what did I
because
do? What did I do?
what do you mean I was over-explaining that? I always over-explain.
That's my job. I
Jesus
thought
Christ.
that's what I do
That's
best.
why I'm a podcaster. Jesus.
Yes. That's why you're a successful podcaster.
I am
Yeah.
I am busily over-explaining ADHD week in, week out. Good
But
Lord.
I'm guessing that AI, because you know the AI is quite clever stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll know. It'll be able to detect, surely.
Yeah, but patterns, it's always going to be based on the average, on what
Yeah.
average people do.
Right.
It's always going to be based on average people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to say statistically.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's to say
I can
statistically,
imagine I'd
90
sound really odd if God forbid, if I ever had to do that, touching wood, if I ever had to do that, I was in that situation, I'd probably sound a bit odd, I'm sure, and say something inappropriate
Exactly.
or just
And they'd be like, "Oh."
off topic.
Right.
You know, go down a rabbit hole and talk about nanoscience or something
Yeah. The science of nans.
without any reason. Science of nans. Okay. Then we've got this one's actually been used. This is next one is eye tracking, and I know that this has already been used to track Asperger's, what it used to be called. They've been using this for years, eye tracking, but apparently it's the same for ADHD peeps as well. So it says here, individuals with ADHD show distinct patterns in fixation, saccades, and pupil dilation during attention tasks. Yeah.
You mean, okay, so our eyes go weird.
Yeah.
Our eyes do
Dilation.
weird things.
Our eyes dilate when they shouldn't. So, and this potentially is quite affordable, relatively affordable technology. And this should all be pretty much available, you know. Also,
so,
virtual reality testing.
Hang on. We have to discuss each one of these before we launch into the next one.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Have to get
you want to talk about,
space.
I would say, discussion.
Yes. We have to say it and then discuss.
So,
briefly.
Asperger's.
So, we're saying that the eyeballs.
Fixation.
That say you've been on the old drugs again, Paul.
Oh, drugs.
You know what I mean, like back to that.
Right.
Yeah. And then they say, "Oh, hello, mate. Let me just test your eyes. Get your eyeballs in the machine."
Yeah, it'd be like going for an eye test.
Right. And then
you'd be looking at the letters.
And they'd be like, "Mr. Thompson, have you been doing any of the funny stuff?" And you'd be like, "No, I've got ADHD, so my eyeballs are like wee wee wee." They zoom in and out. And they all right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you can
something
go,
like
Mr.
that.
Thompson. All right,
something like that. So you maybe in the future you could go for an eye test, get some new glasses, and be tested for. So By the way, Mr. Thompson, I know you only came in for some sunglasses, right?
Right.
But I just want you to know you've got ADHD, and you know there's probably some other shit going on as well.
See,
Would you
I
like to know
think-
more?
I think I could tell. I won't need a machine because ADHD eyes are always looking for their keys. They're
Right.
always looking
Yeah.
for something they've lost. They're always looking around
Yeah.
the room, wondering what they were doing in that room and why
Right.
they were there.
Yeah. But do you feel a little bit more self-conscious now? So it's like, oh, I look at things in a different way.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Well, you should.
No,
Well, you
I
should.
should. you bloody well should, mate.
You bloody well should. Just yeah. Just be a bit more conscious. One thing I've heard was that this test for Asperger's was actually
Yes.
developed by is either Unilever or one of those other companies, big companies, because they used to use this kind of technology, eye tracking technology, to discover new strategies for where they place their products in supermarkets.
Oh, yes.
Right.
We've used that in a previous company. Where so the idea is that you have people wear this kind of headgear which can track where their eyes go, and they basically go around the store and they shop, and then the computer knows exactly what they are looking at, so that you can see
exactly.
Whether anyone sees your product on the shelves, whether they're walking past it, whether it's standing out or not, how well it's performing. So they do that a fair amount. Yeah, there is a lot of science in the supermarkets, and I think we're going to be talking about. I think the next episode after this is about supermarkets. So there we go. There's like
there we go.
Teaser. A
little teaser for you.
Yes.
A little heads up. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I move on now?
Yeah.
So imagine, if you will, you're like your virtual reality goggles that you might wear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also immersive attention tests. So you might have virtual reality environments that simulate classrooms or real-world tasks to assess attention and impulse control more naturally.
Oh,
okay. So there could be like goggles. Maybe that could be gamified as well. You could pair this one up with the gamifying.
All right. So you're basically saying that you would put your little goggles on, and then they would do stuff in your head, and then it would track what you looked at. And is that right?
I think I'm going to be in trouble because if I play computer games, I get really nauseous within about 2 minutes.
Oh,
my tracking is all over the place. I feel like shit. I get nauseous.
I think
so. Like when I used to play Call of Duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to really annoy all of my mates because we'd have a Call of Duty night, and I couldn't run around like they did because I would get like nauseous, and I'd like, I'd feel like sick.
Oh God, I feel sick.
Yeah,
hang on, guys.
I'll just play the sniper.
I'm just gonna hurl.
I was just a sniper picking everyone off, and they were getting really irritated. But now I know it's the ADHD. You see, sorry guys, right. It's my tracking. My tracking's off.
It's me fucking tracking, isn't it? Blimey.
And so that's on the diagnosis part.
All right.
Okay. There's also the therapy part. It's a bit easier. Okay.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
Did you know, for example, have you ever heard of yellow tinted glasses for ADHD people?
No.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, Martin, because I've got some information on it. So you can actually, to understand how, I'll read what I've got here. To understand how yellow tinted glasses might benefit individuals with ADHD, it's essential to delve into the science behind their potential benefits. Yellow tinted lenses
Yeah.
work by filtering out certain wavelengths of light, particularly
Okay.
blue light, which is known to have a stimulating effect on the brain. Blue light emitted by electronic devices and present in natural daylight play a crucial role in regulating our rhythms and alertness. However, excessive exposure to blue light, especially in the evening, can disrupt sleeping patterns and potentially exacerbate attention issues. By reducing it, therefore, using yellow tinted glasses, it might help to mitigate these effects. There you
I
go.
got lost in
Yellow
there somewhere.
glasses. Okay, so basically, if
Oh no,
you're
no. Let's just kind of like we don't need to go back over it.
no,
I
no, I'm
will
not.
I will just assume that yellow
Yes,
tinted glasses are good.
it's good. Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I've got
Yes.
a bit scientific there,
I
Martin.
know. I was like, I'm
Did you
lost.
switch off? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of blue light around, okay, especially in the modern technology world, blah 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 blah. But even in the natural world, non-technological, there's a lot of blue light, and it can have
Okay.
adverse effects on ADHD people. So use
All
yellow
right.
tinted
Okay.
glasses.
Yellow
It
tinted
helps
good.
apparently. Yeah,
All right. Got it.
yeah, okay. Yeah, and then weighted hats or sensory hats can be
Wait,
good for
we've
therapy.
already said hats.
Yes, I've got it mixed up. I've got my presentation mixed up. So that the weighted hat is actually a therapy thing. It's not a diagnosis.
Swap your slides around it in the
Yeah.
slide
So
carousel.
weighted hats is just for therapy, not for diagnosis.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We've cleared that one
Okay.
up.
There's also these are actual real things that are available. Technological smart hats
All right.
are
Okay.
actually being developed at the moment.
What, they can do the
They
thinking for
measure
you?
brain waves and attention.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
It's a bit
That could
like
deliver mild it can potentially deliver mild neurostimulation and collect attention data.
my car lets me know. Does your car do this? My car lets me know whether it thinks I should stop driving and have a cup.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I once hired an Audi Q5, and the technology in that thing was ridiculous. It's like within 10 minutes of using it, it could detect, it knew my driving style. It said, "Poor mate, you might want to stop and have, chillax. Stop for a
You might want to
coffee."
stop and have a driving lesson, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus, thanks. Thanks,
Yeah.
car. It's a good job that the car, like if you hire a car, wouldn't it be good? Wouldn't it be good if at the end of it, it just ranked you compared to all
Yes.
the other people that
Well,
had hired that car?
potentially, or
It could.
potentially the car just say you probably shouldn't be driving at all.
Right. But I like to think
You
like
know,
where
and it would
am
up
I
your
on the
insurance.
list? It'd be like an episode of Top Gear. Like where in this
Yeah.
list am I? Am I in the middle?
Yeah.
No, you're in the bottom quarter. Ah, I suck.
Or potentially you're whilst you're driving, you could see going up or down in real time the cost of your insurance depending on how you're driving.
Right? Exactly.
Bloody hell, that's scary, isn't it?
That's coming, surely.
That's coming, isn't it? Yeah. Well, there's also already technology being used in the UK, AI technology, cameras, and they can detect if people are driving erratically or not.
All right. Oops.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Under the
sometimes.
influence. Back on that subject again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So just there's like loads of companies. I've got 3 or 4 companies. I won't go through them. There's companies actually working on this as we speak. This kind of technology
All right.
all over the world. Yeah.
Okay.
Already, there's a couple here that are already FDA approved.
What
it's a, it's
else
a,
is on your list? I'm just looking at the time.
that's it, Martin.
Oh, perfect.
That's it. So
Perfect.
yeah, I mean the point, going back to what we said at the what we said at the top is like the technology. It is stuff is starting to happen, and it is catching up, but it is clearly freakingly slow.
Right. So
You know, it's
what
still going through lists.
so what you're
Ticking off.
saying is that the current way that we do it, which is terribly slow because there
Yeah,
are waiting lists like as
yeah.
long as
As long as my
your
arm.
arm and
Yeah,
longer, and it takes so long to get a diagnosis that
yeah.
there has to be a better way, and maybe
Exactly,
a bit of AI tech, glass
exactly.
yellow tinted
Yeah. Well,
compression
someone's
sock
probably seen an
device.
opportunity, haven't they? Someone's seen opportunities, like all these waiting lists that are going up. There's some money to be had,
Right.
So they're
Well,
they're you know, and as I say, there's even like this thing. Just one example, already FDA approved is digital therapy for ADHD children between the ages of 8 and 12.
oh,
It's like
okay.
a prescription video game that uses
Oh,
AI-driven adaptive gameplay to access and improve attention. Right.
okay.
So not just diagnosis, but also therapy to maybe
All
like
right.
train, those brain waves to work in a more
It
efficient
seems
way.
weird because like what I can't be anyone who's thinking this. I can play video games and I'll just and I can if it's gamified, I can hyper focus on it. Like if it's
Right.
gamified, I get a
That's exactly
dopamine
it.
hit from it. Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't improve my attention when I need it, which is like when I'm
Hmm.
doing my tax returns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
sure, you can gamify something and I'll be interested in
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
but it's when it's not gamified. It's like when it's boring
Yes.
that I
Yeah.
that's where I
Well, maybe
struggle. So I
maybe
don't
they
know.
have to gamify your tax returns.
See, that would be more helpful.
Yeah.
People, if you're listening, anyone out there, gamify my tax return,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
it'll
it's
be
not
done.
that stupid an idea, actually. It's not that
No,
dumb as an idea.
no.
It's one of your better ones.
Well, thank you. I think I'll just go
You're
out and
welcome.
invent it.
Yes.
Um, um,
So
all
yes,
right. I think. Well, you know what?
you
There's
know
an
what?
interesting list of stuff.
There's an
Um,
interesting and almost quite well structured as a
I know, right?
presentation.
I know.
Almost.
It was quite interesting for me to have done zero research whatsoever and then just react to you. It was
Yes.
a bunch of fun as far as I was concerned. Um, all right. Well,
Good.
let's jump
I think
back.
if
What?
you were to pick out one item from there, I think this is the weighted hat
I
is
am.
the game
I love a
changer.
good hat. I love a good squidgy, nice tight hat. So yeah. If there was a device that could add pressure points into it at various points in the day,
Yeah.
that'd be great. I'd be
Yeah.
into that. All right. Well, let's jump in
Okay.
the tractor because we've got a
Yes.
quiz and we're going to go back to the pub
We have.
for a pub quiz. Right.
We
Let's
are.
go. Pub quiz
Yes.
time. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm going to get my pen and paper ready. All right. I find jotting down the options to be quite helpful.
Okay.
All right. What's the quiz
So we've got a
about?
quiz. Well, thanks for asking, mate. It's the quiz is it's based on the history of town criers. Like,
You mean
given
like
that we have our official town crier,
Alexandra?
Alexandra, official town crier, I thought, oh, let's go down a tunnel about the history of town criers, Martin.
And then just to remind everyone, town crier isn't the guy sobbing on the pavement.
No,
That's
no,
someone else. Town criers are
no,
official people
exactly.
that come out and they tell the town what is going
Yes,
on. They make official
exactly,
proclamations and they have a bell.
exactly. And I learned a lot, Martin, going through this. They
All
had
right.
town criers in England for sure, in
All right.
Scotland, Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
Wales, France, and in
Oh,
America as well, and
I think
probably
you could be right.
far beyond. Yes. So I've got. How many have we got here? We've got three. It's not too long today. Got
Great.
three different things to go through. Okay. So this is on a theme of Scottish town criers, Martin.
Oh, I like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Only one of these is real. Okay. So I'm going to give
Okay.
you this fact. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. This is the fact.
Okay. Fact me up.
This town crier was a lady. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who was an elderly town crier in the town
Right.
of Dalkeith, okay, a town in
Okay.
Midlothian, Scotland, in the mid 18th century, okay.
Okay.
But instead of a bell, Martin, she would
Yes.
beat a wooden plate and a
Oh.
spoon. She,
Mm-hmm.
with a wooden spoon, making a loud din to draw attention to announcements, working for just a penny for each announcement. She was known for wearing a distinctive long gown, a cap, and a cloak. All of that is true. The only thing you've got to guess is which one of these is the right name of said female town crier in
All right.
Scotland.
I am going to say, before you go into that if I was
Yes.
being paid a penny an
penny.
announcement, I would
Yes.
be making all kinds of announcements all day long.
That's true.
Like, the grass
Yeah.
over there is getting longer. That's another penny. That
right.
woman over there has got a large loaf of bread.
Yeah,
That's another penny.
that's right. It's another penny for your excellent Scottish accent.
Right. I would be just doing clickbaity nonsense announcements.
Yes,
That's what I'd be doing.
of course you would. Yeah, and you could all kinds of stuff. Yeah, just gossip, general gossip.
Yeah, anything. Just
penny,
announce something.
penny.
That's another penny in the bag. Right. Go on then. Okay,
Right.
so there are
So
three.
I'll give you 5 names of this
five
lady.
names. Jesus. Fucking hell.
I thought town criers was a pure male thing. It wasn't. They were in Scotland, at least. There were female town criers.
How misogynist
Was
is he?
her name
Yes.
Slotty Rick, Betty Dick? No, Beatty Dick, Slotty Rick, Beatty Dick, Bloaty Sam, Throaty Roy, or Botty Edith? I'll give you those
Okay.
again. Slotty
Yeah.
Rick, Beatty
Yeah.
Dick, Bloaty Sam, Throaty Roy, or Botty Edith?
Okay, I have written all these down. Firstly,
Just so you know, she was a town crier between 1693 and 1773. So she was what? She was 80.
Beatty Dick, come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Beatty Dick. That's the
No.
right one. No.
No. What?
No.
Is it?
So Slotty, I thought as you were telling me. Slotty Rick, Beatty Dick, Bloaty Sam, Throaty
Yeah.
Roy, Botty Edith.
Well, I mean, like, I've got, like 5. Like 5. I'm going to go with Botty Edith because it's the only one. It seems to stand out. Just how it sounds.
You probably picked that because it's the only one that's got a female name in it.
It does have a female name in it.
Which is wrong.
Sam.
It's Beatty Dick.
Oh, come on.
Beatty Dick. Her name was Beatty Dick.
That's so wrong.
That's a wrong one.
Scotland, sort yourselves out, please.
Okay.
All right.
Now, I've got 5 examples here of town cries, one of which I've made up. You have to
All right.
work out which one of these I've made up. Joseph Parr, okay,
Yeah.
1790 to 70. He was a town crier in Derby. Parr was born in 1790 and died at the age of 78. He is believed to have been have descended of a decayed branch of a local family that rented space in the shambles of Chesterfield, which is a
Okay.
collection of narrow streets and old streets.
All
So
right.
Joseph Parr, James Jemmy Hurst of Rowenstall in Lancashire, early 19th century. He was controversial because he rode an ostrich around town, trained a goat to mimic human behaviour, and these spectacles drew particular ire from the local clergy and gentry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
All right.
ostrich and trained goats.
I like him.
Yeah.
He is out in front as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, there you go. How about Julius Megaphone Myers of San Antonio of Texas, right? Julius
Okay.
Megaphone Myers, San Antonio, Texas. Early 20th century, Julius Myers, affectionately known as Megaphone Myers, became a beloved figure in San Antonio, dressed in a football uniform, riding a horse, and would announce local events with gusto, he writes here. One of his memorable proclamations included, "Laddies, Nanjumab, don't forgetten, non times, not hot wells, hot dogs, hot tamales, and hot baths!" Exclamation mark. Okay?
That sounds
Madness.
weird.
That's literally what it says. Right? Next
Mm.
one. Harry Pitcher Smithen. Harry Pitcher Smithen of Hackney Wick in London. Again, early 20th century. He's controversial because one of the last town criers in the London area, known particularly because he had actually been castrated in his childhood, doesn't say
Oh,
why,
blimey.
and therefore stood out for his particularly high pitch and smooth cadence. Okay?
Okay.
Harry Pitcher Smithen.
All right.
Last but not least,
Yeah.
George P. Clear of New Orleans, again, early 20th century. Controversial because one of the last town criers of New Orleans, he clashed with local officials over freedom of speech and began announcing personal political opinions.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay.
George P. Clear, Harry Pitcher Smithen, Julius Megaphone Myers, James Jemmy Hurst, or Joseph Parr.
I'm just going to stick with my original. The guy with the ostrich here, number up, which is like number 2, James
Number 2,
Jimmy
yeah.
something, because I feel like
No,
he
it's not
likes a
right.
show.
I
What?
made up the one. Harry Pitcher Smithen, I made up. He wasn't castrated. Didn't happen.
What?
No, it's
Where
wrong.
your option? That was the last option, right?
No, the fourth option. That was the fourth option.
Right. I want number 2. Option number 2.
Number 2 is right.
Ah,
But
see.
you had to pick the wrong one, the one that wasn't real.
What?
So that was
Oh!
actually real. Number 2 was real.
Oh, sorry.
He did
Misunderstood that
actually
one.
ride an ostrich around
Damn it.
town with a trained goat
Oh,
that mimicked humans.
I did not understand the rules. Damn it.
Okay. This one is a bit easier for rules.
All right.
Okay.
Ugh, I'm dead already.
You just need to on this one. You just need to name the correct country and region. Okay,
Oh,
this is
blimey.
modern time town cries. Actually, during COVID-19. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So during COVID-19 lockdowns, town cries in this region took to the streets to lift the residents' spirits. Way. Employed by a professional acting troupe,
Mm-hmm.
they delivered twice weekly proclamations that included town news, poems, stories, jokes, and puns sent in by the public. This initiative brought joy and an enormous sense of community spirit during challenging times. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Nice, isn't it? Isn't that a nice
It is a
idea?
lovely little story.
It's a lovely
Where did
little
this
story.
happen?
But where did it happen? Was it
Right.
the Kansai region of Japan?
Okay.
Okay. Was it the Brittany region of France, French France?
All right.
The Kuvsgul region of Mongolia. These are all
Jesus.
real regions, by the way. The
Yes.
Kuvsgul region of Mongolia, the Basque region of Spain,
Yeah.
or you could choose, Martin, the
Yeah.
Almaty region of Kazakhstan. So Kansai region of Japan, Brittany region of France, Kavskul region of Mongolia, Basque region of Spain, Almaty region of Kazakhstan, doing
I'm,
nice things.
I'm doing. I feel like this is quite a. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like this is a. This feels quite Asian. This feels. I would pick Japan based on its kind of varied, on the varied uh, uh, content.
Okay,
What you
but
got?
do Japanese, do they tell jokes in Japan? I suppose they do.
Yeah, of course they do.
Oh, okay.
I just don't understand them, so I don't laugh.
Oh, okay. It was Brittany in France.
Oh, the French. The
French
French.
France. Isn't
Well,
that a nice thing that they did, though? Like, just like updating people with news and jokes and puns and poems. That's really
that
cool.
is nice. That is nice. Okay, well,
Well
that was it.
done, Brittany.
I, yeah, I am shamefaced. This was
You did
a
not out of
complete
three.
whitewash.
Not out of three.
I,
But,
I didn't.
actually, a bit of history there about town criers.
Yeah, yeah. I am. Yeah. I mean, like, I have to look now because I was hoping that there'd be one, at least one sort of a Greek reference in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
but
I mean, I could do a quick chat GPT for you.
I'm going to do like Greek. I'm looking up on the the internet. Greek town crier, and see what this says. Yes, but is there a Greek one? That's what I want to know. But if there is, people can But
Yes, there
oh, hang on a
were.
second.
Yes, there were.
Oh,
In
come on,
ancient
Paul.
Greek society.
There we go. Look, that's what I'm looking at. The ancient Greeks were already on it. They were
They were
already
way
on it.
ahead of
They're the
us.
original. They are the
Yes.
OGs of the town criers. Come on. There we go. I feel happy now because I'm like, if this is for Alexandra, then there should be some Greekness in here.
Oh, there's definitely Greekness because one of the things that they do is they invited people to festivals or sacrifices.
It's like two arrows. Festival this
Yes.
way, sacrifice
Or
that way.
sacrifices. You choose.
I think I'm gonna go with the festival this time, but next time I might get sacrificed. I'm sacrificially
Depends on your mood.
curious.
Oh, today I'm in the mood for a good old traditional sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah, they were way ahead of us, the Greeks. Of course
See,
they were.
there we go. There we go. That's nice. I feel like we've rounded this off. All right, so let's jump in to the post bag as if it was a 70s TV show. We've got a
Yeah,
post
exactly.
bag. Makes me feel like so old. Let's look at the post bag, shall we?
Wasn't it like that? There was Saturday morning kids programs that had post bags.
Yeah. You used to write off to Thames Television.
Yeah,
Teddington
or to Noel
Lock,
Edmonds. Yeah.
Middlesex.
Oh yeah, Teddington Lock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um.
Okay. So should we get back on the tractor?
No. Let's just do it.
Let's go straight to the process. So yes, so let's go. Let's go with the post office. Your feedback is vital to us.
Come on.
Read all the comments, and we might read yours out on a future podcast, like this one.
Right. Well, we had
Or
one
two.
from we've got two. We got one from a month ago or so ago. That was Debbie in Scotland.
Yes. It's fitting because you've been attempting a pathetic attempt at Scottish accents, as I have done.
I have
of
been, yeah.
in the past.
I know that you can't see it, but I'm wearing a kilt under the desk with
Oh,
a big
okay.
fat sporran.
Oh, okay.
Well, I say sporran, but
Sporran.
I couldn't find a sporran, so I got Eddie the dog, and I just
Wrapped him around.
sellotaped him to the front of my kilt, and no one
Christ.
knows. No one is the wiser.
Okay. Is it a ceremonial sporran or a hunting sporran?
It is a very hungry sporran that seems to like snacks.
Okay. Just
So
so you know, well, I'm just reaching out to our listeners. I am looking out for a vintage hunting sporran. That's
all
actually
right,
true. I
all
haven't
right,
found one yet. Vintage.
okay.
I don't want new ones.
No,
Thanks.
no, you want it to have had previously hunted something.
Yes. Exactly. It's
So
got to have history.
so look, this is my image, right? Guy on a Scottish moors in his kilt with the wind and his hunting sporran, and he goes,
Aye.
"Off you go, laddie!" And then little sporran jumps off his kilt and
Yes.
then runs off into the heather,
Right.
and then comes
Yes.
out with a rabbit or something. Goes,
Yes.
good laddie.
Hey, laddie.
That's the kind of sporran that you want, right? One of those.
Totally.
One of
I
those.
think it just reminds me of like some kind of 1980s British kind of humor thing that would, I don't know. It sounds very Monty Pythonist,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Does
slapping each other with salmons and sporrans made of, your wee hunting dog.
right. So let's get back onto. Do you want to read Debbie's post, and then I'll
Yes.
do the
So
second
finally
one.
got through 2 episodes. Now my brain has less to worry about. Lol. The Scottish words made me giggle too. Thank God, because they could so
Lol.
easily offend some people. I'm sure. Funny hearing English accents trying to be Scottish. Ha ha ha! Laughed a lot. Cried at this episode a few times. Probably our accents again. But enjoyed the last 2 episodes. So that's good.
There we
Thanks. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much. Sorry about
And,
our accents.
yeah. And the next one is from our resident town crier, Alexandra, over there in Greece. And she said, She said last week, as I was watching you guys on the last week's Poddy Pod, she got a phone call for a job interview.
No.
I know.
Okay, right.
I know. This says there's a 4-leaf clover emoji, and it says, my lucky charms. I had to share.
That's nice.
I'm thrilled. And
Thrilled.
then she says that she missed us that week that we skipped. So I happen to know that it was her first day at her new job today.
Oh, okay.
As we record.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose she's going to be our official town crier on a ad hoc kind of.
Yeah. She's
as of when she's needed.
Too
busy now to
us
cry
now.
for our town. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And then with next week, as we've already said, we're going to be talking about supermarkets.
Episode 89.
Is that right? I'm actually out of. I don't have me notes. All right, so that just leaves me to say that ADHD is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Be subscribed to the pod and rate us most amazing. And feel free to correspond at will in the comments. But wait, there's more. If you want to see our beautiful faces, then sally forth to the YouTubes and the TikToks. You can also pick up a quill and email us at ADHDville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, fare thee well with gladness of heart.
Where's the button that says...
There, says the mayor. That's that.